I'm going to talk a little bit right now about 10 expensive mistakes you can make on your home. As homeowners, I think we all, okay, there's never an all, but most of us tend to overlook things. In fact, I find a lot of times I meet with people when it comes to talk about listing their home, and they just kind of have forgotten about the fact that that wall is all dinged up, or there's something that's broken that they've just kind of learned not to notice anymore, and they walk right past it. So these are some things that if you've lived in your home a while, you might want to consider getting done. Number one, traditional light bulbs. If you're still using those old-fashioned incandescent light bulbs, you're probably looking at a bulb that'll cost you about $180. If you go to CFL, it'd be $41 for the same. And if you go to LED, it's only $30 for the same lifespan, right? So, and let's face it, they're newer. They're currently more attractive. People like them better. So it can help the value of your home too. Then ignoring a leaky faucet, right? I mean, that's a no-brainer, but it's easy to do. We just go, it's no big deal. Well, 3,000 gallons a year, that's a lot of showers, right? So, and then obviously it costs money to run water. And there's this drought thing going in a lot of places in the country too. So you should fix your leaky faucets. And then wrong air filter size on your furnace. It's such a simple thing and a cheap thing, but people go out and they buy the wrong size and it'll work, it'll be fine. Well, it may work, but it probably won't be fine. It's going to tax your furnace. It's going to make it work harder. It's going to cost you more to run it. It's not a good idea. You should go get the right size filter. And then temperature. These days we have the Nest. We have all these thermostats. You really should set your thermostat so that it makes sense for you. Like if you're cooling your house during the heat of the day when no one's home, maybe you're wasting money. If you're heating the house during the cold time when nobody's home, maybe you should adjust it so that you have a certain temperature for different times of the day, and it automatically takes care of that for you. Air vents. So we have this problem in my house, and I go around and I mess with my air vents. Some rooms are hotter than others. Some are colder than others, right? It has something to do with the proximity to the actual HVAC system and how far it has to travel. But you can control those air vents, and you can, shut down some of the air that's going into some rooms and open it up to other rooms that don't tend to get as cool or as warm for that matter. But one thing I will say, my understanding is that you want to use all your air vents. You don't want to close off rooms. A lot of people think if they close off rooms, that'll work, but you bought that system for your entire home, and it's built to cool or heat your entire home. So if you cut down rooms, you don't necessarily get the most benefit from the system. Then overwatering the lawn. The main thing here is leaking. If you have sprinklers on, like I do, I don't want sprinklers on when I'm out in the backyard. I have them on at times when I'm not there. But I do periodically check, turn them on, see how they're running, make sure I don't have any broken sprinklers or sprinklers that are spraying the wrong direction at the house or something like that. Then water heater temperature. If you have a tankless, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have a tank, you need to control the temperature of your water, because that stays that temperature 24/7, 365. So, if you go out of town for a couple of weeks, maybe turn that down while you're gone. In the summertime, maybe it doesn't need to be as hot as it does in the wintertime. Anyway, something to just think about and use appropriately, and it's so simple. And then leaky windows and doors. This is where you're going to lose the most of your energy in a home, right? Because a lot of people have spaces in their doors especially that they need to put some weather stripping in, or maybe caulking windows. That's really important, especially if you have replacement windows, right? They come in, if they don't do a great job, a lot of times I see these, of course I can't think of the word, but they basically buy the replacement windows a little small, and then they put this little strip over it, and there's actually like a gap there, sometimes a couple of inches, and I think, wow, these people spend all this money on this window, but there's a gap right next to it. It doesn't make sense. So you just want to make sure you fill that in. And then paying a handyman. I know it may seem, you may not be the most mechanical guy or gal, but you can YouTube a lot of stuff these days. So handymen are expensive and they're hard to come by. So you might consider doing that. And then a roof is a really important thing. So if you see wear happening on your roof, curling shingles and discoloration and stuff like that, you should have it checked out before it gets to be a bigger problem. Once a leak starts happening, then you're gonna have a bigger problem. So anyway, those were 10 things that I think hopefully you won't make a mistake and just let them run out of control.